From bartenders to real estate investor baddies. Welcome to Club Revenue and good evening, the sisters, Cheryl McRoberts and Holly Jo Sawinski. Hello.
Hello.
Thank you so much for joining us tonight. You guys have so much value. So, to catch everybody up to speed, last year we did a panel called Becoming an Investor, Investor, HER. And Cheryl and Holly Jo were on it, along with so many other incredible guests. And I promised everybody at that event that we would have everybody back on for a deep dive this year. And so, thank you, Cheryl and Holly Jo, for going first. Let's start with introductions. Well, first of all, I should probably introduce myself. Good evening, everyone. I'm Margot Drake, founder of Club Revenue. You work hard, your money should too. This is a space where we come learn how to have our money work for us. So, Cheryl, we'll start with you.
Okay.
Tell everybody who you are, what your day job is, and a little bit about your family, because that will give an idea of who you are.
Okay, great. Well, thank you, first of all, Margot, for inviting us. We've been very excited about this. I am a procurement professional for a hotel collection in downtown Grand Rapids. I've been there for 15 years and then in this position for about 9. So that's my day job. And then for my evening and spare time, I ride my sister's coattails and I do some investing with her. I have 2 duplexes, and so in the investor language, we call that 4 doors. So I have two apartments per duplex. So that's what I do. Got married 2 years ago in June, and have a beautiful little stepson who's going to be 8 next month. So I am busy, 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 and loving every minute of it.
So you've got a lot of life going on.
Yes.
And Cheryl and I met because she was my neighbor here. Best neighbor, one of the best neighbor evers. We had such a great floor up here.
Yeah.
So, Holly Jo, tell us who you are and a little bit about yourself.
I mean, I don't know. First time ever doing a podcast. That's something about me. So I'm learning the properness.
Applause. Everybody's cheering you on.
No, I don't know. Basically I'm a landlord. That's what I do. That's what I've been doing. I sold real estate for a long time, and I noticed through selling real estate to investors, I learned how they made more money than I did, and I was making pretty good money with commission. It made sense. And then I kind of got into it with certain sellers get into trouble, and I could see a way to help them get out of it. And so I got my first one, just kind of like helping them get out of it, and it just snowballed from there. And it's just one of the things that I love to do.
And what you're doing is so important. We're going to dive deeper into that. And you guys, the chat is flowing up. We have hellos. We have you. Great. We have hi there. Thank you for doing this tonight. So why don't you tell, and Holly Jo, where do you do your investing?
All up in Cadillac, Michigan, Wexford County. I found throughout the years that if you stay in the same county, same legal system, you get to know the court services, the police department, all of the
zoning laws,
all that kind of stuff.
Because every county nuances.
Every county.
You get to know the people.
Yeah.
You get to know the players of the game.
Exactly. And so I've gotten really good with all of them, fire department, everybody. So I try to stick in that area, so not to learn a whole nother set of people.
Which is where we grew up.
Yes.
Where our dad still lives, and our mom is coming soon. She's moving back to Michigan soon. Yep. And so it's family. That's just where we want to be.
Mm-hmm. So great. I'll never forget, Cheryl, our first conversation about real estate investing. And you just blew my mind. And then when I met Holly Jo, I was like, oh my God, this is so great. I love it. And we've had so many great discussion since then. It's inspired us in so many ways.
Well, thank you.
For that. So let's talk about your investment journey. And I just love your stories so much. And I'm glad with this platform that we have that so many more people can be exposed to your story because it just seems so relatable. And I'm sure you'll be able to inspire so many more people because generally, when someone thinks real estate investor, they think someone started with a pot of gold and just made more with it. And that's, I think, a myth conception.
Yes, it's wrong.
Yeah, it's the opposite.
Yeah, and even if you start with a pot of gold,
Yeah.
if you do it wrong,
Mm-hmm.
you are not keeping that
Doesn't
pot of
last
gold.
long.
No.
Oh, good. All right. So we have more comments. Steve is commenting that Cheryl inspired him to purchase his first industrial building.
Yeah.
And it was all with a simple question that she asked. And we'll get to that as we move forward because it's all about being creative.
Yes.
And you've been a perfect example of that, both of you, over the years. So we're going to talk about how your investment journey started, because like I said, most people have preconceived misconceptions. And so Cheryl, we'll start with you. And who's older, by the way? Who's the bigger sister? Who's big sister? Holly Jo. Okay, so
Yeah,
Cheryl,
yes.
you're just, I love that. The big sisters inspiring the little sister. What did you say?
She's more mature.
I don't know. We take turns. We take turns, yeah.
You guys are so much fun. Okay, so no, we don't need that comment right now. We'll get to that one in a little bit. Okay, so we're going to talk about your investment journey. Cheryl, we're going to start with you. How old were you when you made your first investment and what inspired you to do so?
Gosh, I was in my 20s. I don't remember. I would say over 25. I was in my later 20s. Yeah. Yep.
Maybe
Yeah.
real close in there,
Yeah.
though, for sure.
Yeah. So my big sister had started investing, and I had been begging her. And I'm like, I want to buy one with you. And she always told me no. She's like, you don't have any money. No.
Also, don't do it with family.
And I'm not going to invest with family. So she told me no. And I truly didn't have any money. I was bartending. I was having a lot of fun, and I was making good money, but I wasn't doing anything worthwhile with it. So I finally decided, I was like, okay, I'm going to save. And it took me so long because you're just, you're immature and saving money is not natural.
It's not a priority.
It took me about 2 years, and I saved up $5,000. And then I was like, I have $5,000, and we found this very cheap property.
Modest.
There we go.
That's a good word.
Modest property that it was for sale for $10,000, and it was like the people just packed their car and left. It was full. I mean, the refrigerator was full. We spent days cleaning it, all that stuff. But I begged Holly. I was like, please, come and go do this with me, please. So she finally did. She finally agreed. We bought it. We spent a week cleaning it, trashing it out. We had a real estate sale.
And it was fun.
And we had a great time.
Wait. It was fun cleaning out someone else's. Okay, only you two could have fun doing that. I can totally see that.
Yep. So, I got a drum set out of it. We made, what did we make? We made $1,200 or $1,500 from the real estate sale.
Just the garage sale.
Just basically a huge sale of like nothing super nice. We just sold everything though. And then it weirdly went into this weird bidding war. And
but how long? Like, that's the other thing.
3 weeks later, we invested $10,000. We made $1,200 from the estate sale, yard sale. And 3 weeks later, we sold it for $27,000. And so I took my half, And that was my next down payment for my next property. So my big thing that I like to tell everybody is I've only ever spent $5,000 on my investment properties. They have always paid for themselves since then. Yeah. And again, it's not natural to save. It's not natural to not spend that money, but I put a different bank account in, and that's where that money stayed. No matter what, no matter what was in it, that's what I did.
Don't touch it.
I never touched it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So for all of you viewers, we're just going to recap. She's 20 something. She's bartending. She likes to have fun. She has the best friends and just such a fun social circle. Those people back then were not doing that. So, you know, her peers were not understanding probably what she was doing. And she listened to her big sister and was inspired by her big sister, and her big sister helped her, which is really cool.
Reluctantly, but she did.
But I love the fact that you kept asking. You just kept asking.
I did. I was
relentless.
Like, one day I'm going to find one cheap enough that she's going to be like, okay, if I lose all of this money because my baby sister doesn't know what she's doing, I'm going to be fine with it. So I finally found one that was lower in price, and we did it.
So you both put in 2,000? Is that what you said?
We both put in 5,000.
Oh, you both put. Oh, you bought it cash.
Yeah.
Oh, you just bought it cash, and then you had a lot more cash by the end of the month.
3 weeks later.
That is the way to do it. Yeah. Okay. Was it an off-market deal or an on-market deal?
It was. It was a land contract gone sideways that we knew. We knew it was happening, and we jumped in.
And how did you know that land contract was going south? Was that a Holly Jo connection?
It was we both knew the individual. So
okay.
Yep.
So that's just networking.
Yeah.
And it's connecting dots, and it's solving a problem for someone because nobody wants their land contract to go south.
Yeah.
So,
yep.
And that person that had the note probably did not want to go over there and clean anything out, right?
Lived out of state.
Yeah.
I mean,
on land contract for the reason to go, and then
yeah, because you don't have to do you don't have to do plumbing, you don't have to show up when things break. You just are lending people money and making a percentage on that. So we have a great question, Diane. It's so great you're here, Diane Kanowski. Were the properties you were investing in always looked at as rentals? So was this a rental?
That first one was not. And it was never meant to be. We were going to just as quickly as we could flip it over.
Yeah, we never rented them.
No, we didn't do improvements. We cleaned it and we stuck it back up for sale.
Flipped it.
So, but other than that, mine were always meant to be rentals.
Yeah. And mine, I kind of did the whole rental, keep, flip. I lived in every flip and fixed it during the time. So I've been covered in drywall dust literally until about an hour ago. So like
is that why your hair is like perfectly placed because there's so much drywall?
Yeah. You don't even need hairspray. When you have drywall dust, it just does it itself. It's amazing.
I will never forget sanding a bathroom renovation that we did in our first house. I was like, I am never going to get this out of my hair.
Like go for sure. So mine tend to be like, if it worked for a rental, any duplex, any multifamily, I always cap. If I did a single family, I would live in it for like a year, literally a year, and for sure one day, so I didn't have to do the capital gains. And then I would roll that back into something potentially bigger. I could live in one half of a duplex or go to another single family, but the ones I cap are always multifamily. The ones I flip are single family.
And Holly's specialty is buy the worst house on the block.
Oh, yes.
She finds the worst house on the block and makes it the best one when she decides to do the flip. But you haven't done that.
No, I think the last one was Simon Street. Yeah. I'm getting old.
Distressed properties.
Yeah.
So there's so many lessons in there. It's having a network. It's knowing what your buy box is. It's getting a partner to do it with you and someone that has done it before. So you're not going in cold and making a mistake.
Yes.
Carol, you have to tell people what the property was, because so many people would maybe overlook that type of property because it's like
she didn't want me to do it.
I didn't want it.
Yeah, it was in a very rural area on a dirt road, and it was a single wide modular home trailer. Yep.
Not modular.
Oh no, trailers. Yeah,
with the green title.
Yeah. What's a green title?
It's like a car title.
Yeah, which means it's a depreciating asset.
Correct.
It's not, so
I don't recommend it.
Don't do it.
Don't do it unless you can get it for 10 grand.
Yes, and then move on. Yeah. But yeah, it's
you never know. You never know. So you talk to people, you let them know you're interested in different things, and those out of town investors don't want the headache anymore, especially when something goes sideways. Mm-hmm. And there's many things owned by trusts. So that's why that's a good lesson. And I always communicate to my clients, we cannot be reactionary. There are two types of people. There are people that are proactive and there are people that are reactionary. And if you want to be an investor, you have to be proactive. And we have to know what exactly you're looking for, because we are hearing about deals all the time. So if you are out there and you're kind of sort of thinking that this may be for you, all it is a meeting. Let's meet. Mm-hmm. And tell me what you're looking for, and I can always keep my eyes and ears open for you. So good. We have a question in the chat, and it is, please explain the comment on capital gains and living in the house for so long to avoid capital gains.
So, disclaimer, not an accountant.
Yes, we should have disclaimed this at the very beginning.
First time, but I know the rules. So basically, my understanding as a not tax professional, you have to live in the house for a year and 1 day, or you are subject to the full capital gains. Also, capital gains I'm dealing with like $100,000, $150,000 house. It's not going to affect me too awful much. Plus, I have all the receipts for all the things that went into it, and you can write all that off. I mean, you have to have a good accountant. This is very important. But like, say you have a $6 million house, blah, 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 you flip it in 8 months, you're subject to capital gains over the 150. Again, not accountant. It changes every year. The tax laws are da-da-da. But after a certain amount, you're subject to capital gains, which can be up to a lot. Again, not going to quote that. I don't even want to say it because it changes every single year, but it's a lot. So if you keep it more than a year and you lived in it, you're good to go. You can also avoid capital gains completely if you lived in the property for 2 out of 5 years. So like, you can rent it, live in it, whatever, but you have to be in it for a certain period of time. It has to be your homestead to get away with the 1 year thing. But if it's a rental and you've lived in it often periodically throughout 5 years. So again, talk to your CPA, but there are ways to get around, and just Google it. Just Google how to get away from capital gains and investment and try to follow those little strategies.
And ChatGPT is your can like point you in the right direction, but nothing is going to compare to getting a team together. Your team should make you money, not cost you money.
Yes.
A good team.
Yeah.
So, okay, excellent. Holly Jo, you were young, you were rich, you had all the time in the world, and you just started buying up property, right?
No. But I appreciate the enthusiasm.
Okay, so tell us the real. How did you get started? How old were you?
I think I bought my first one at 23.
Well, when did you
Right?
get your real estate license?
22.
22.
So I got my real estate at 22.
Mm-hmm.
Bought my first rental at 23, somewhere in there, you know,
Yeah.
give or take a couple months, right?
Tell them how you did that. It's good.
Oh, okay.
I'm hijacking this.
I know. Well,
it's
That's
good.
okay.
Sorry.
So basically, I just wheeled and dealed, and I saw a need. I saw a distressed seller. I mean, it is what it is, and I talked them into letting me use my commission as the down payment. The bank accepted. Well, not even the bank. I did a LLC, no, land contract
Mhm.
with my commission as the down payment. So, I mean, literally, it was just I just talked them into giving me the house
And promising to
pay them back. Yeah, all legal and on paper and all the stuff. And yeah, and then the next one I did, because commission is based on buyer, like your brokers, right? So you have a
Mhm.
seller's broker and a buyer's broker, and my broker is really super cool. So the next one I did, she allowed me to use all of the commission on with not giving her half of my commission, and then I ended up paying her back that commission, and that was how I got the second one. And I always paid everybody back, so that's why I'm here now, right? I'm not in a ditch somewhere. You have to pay them, but you know, you got to run the numbers, make sure it works, and just work like every night, paying,
Yeah.
and painting, mowing the lawn.
Yeah.
I just never stopped.
So back then, were you dual career?
You were a real estate agent.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah, I mean, I bartended before I got my real estate license. I mean, I would bartend now and again after, but once I got my real estate license, I pretty much switched completely. Just out of the, you know, what are you gonna do? But all of my clients pretty much came from my regulars from bartending and all of their friends and family, and that's where I got all my clients. Everybody.
That's your network.
Yep.
They knew you, liked you, and trusted you.
Yes. Yeah.
And so Diane is asking, do you do all the upkeep on your properties? So do you have a property management, or is it Holly Jo
So
property management?
Tell them how many doors you have.
okay, so currently I have 58 doors. So that's a lot to do alone. Prior to that, for I guess right now, I managed 89 through 2015. So I was actually a management company in addition to building my portfolio. And then in 2015, my portfolio had gotten high enough. And to be quite honest, the market was starting to crack a little on the management because of the '08, and people were using the M word, mold. You know what I mean? I was starting to feel vulnerable as a management company, and I had enough property. So I sold my book of business on the management part, basically just take care of mine. But my dad does 90% of so much.
Yeah, he is amazing.
Yeah, and I have lawn care, snow plowing, but if they can't do it,
yeah,
I'll do it.
I'm on the junk out team.
Yes, we do the junk out, the trash out.
Anytime it's a trash out or a junk out,
They're the best.
It's a Saturday, and I can't wait. It's so fun.
Yeah.
You go.
Oh my gosh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I learned something new.
Gloves on and just throw it.
Yeah,
And burn whatever you can. Take it to the dump.
Yeah,
that's
it's super fun.
It's the best day.
Yeah.
Trash out day is the best.
Yeah, you usually
So you do have a team. You recruit family members. Do you recruit? Is there anyone else on the team, or is it just the family members?
Well, no, I have tenants that have been with me a long time, and so I'll call them when I need stuff. I have contractors throughout, you know, plumbing, whatever. I don't put all of my need of management into one basket. So I manage a whole bunch of different teams and people that I can trust, and I've got, you know what I mean? It's kind of one of those things where you don't want to have one person taking care of everything, it will fall apart.
Yeah.
You gotta be involved.
Yeah.
And you've been doing this for how many years now, Holly Jo?
Well, 22 is my first one, and I'm 46. I'll be 47 in 1 month.
Okay.
So a long
And so you know the things that you can handle, you know the things that you could maybe call your dad for, or maybe that you need to bring in
bring a bunch of
a licensed professional.
Yeah.
So, and one last question that Diane had in her last comment was, how many properties is too many for one woman to handle? What is your answer to that?
Depends on how controlling you are. I'm gonna say that right now.
Yeah.
I could probably handle 200 if I was willing to allow
Let go. Let go.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
I could probably handle a few more than I have now. Also, I'm to the point where I don't need to or want to necessarily. But if I could get off, like if I could start potentially giving more responsibility to somebody else, then I could keep going forever. It really is. It has to do with how much control you can give up.
Leverage. I think that's baby steps.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, I'm a new years, and I'm like,
so, well, there is another piece of your story. We didn't talk about your family. You were raising a son by yourself,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
During this time.
Yeah.
So,
Wait.
so 20 something, bartending, got her license, looking for opportunities, taking care of a baby by herself.
Yeah. He helped me
I hope people that are listening to this are thinking, okay, I don't have an excuse because I'm not too young. I don't have too many responsibilities. I mean, all of these things, you're just kind of busting through people's limiting beliefs. And I love that. All right. So you were young, you got inspired into investing because you saw your investors doing it and what they were earning, and you thought, okay, I can do that. And so you did it. A good question that that I think maybe on the minds of people and talking about overcoming mental hurdles. Was there any fear or hesitation before you got started? And how did you push through it?
No. I've never been
Yeah.
No, I never.
We've been raised to be fearless. We were told just go, give it a try.
Yeah.
You know, we were never
afraid.
told that we can't. We were never told that, you know, it's just never it was never a word in our vocabulary. Fear wasn't a thing. We, you know,
not at all.
God always had our back. We knew that.
Yeah.
You know, we know we would always have him to fall back on. And
yeah.
I can say I am my big sister. So I was like,
she's got me.
Yeah. But no, and you've always been fearless.
I'm
You've always
totally
been
fearless,
full blast, jump without a parachute
yes.
kind of person.
And I'm warning for people. I'm not saying like jump off cliffs. I always jump off cliffs. I love cliffs. They're my favorite. But I've lost everything a couple of times.
Yeah.
I mean, my first 2 rentals, I put on a balloon, and I didn't realize that, you know, real estate commission is not something that the bank favors as conventional. So you fall into that, you know, stated loan type stuff, and I couldn't get refinanced. So I lost 2 of my first original rentals because I put them on a balloon,
Which is?
Oh, that's right.
Good question.
Thank you, Steve. So a balloon is when you agree to terms of a 30-year or a 15-year amortization, you pay your stuff, you do normal, but in 5 years, you are to refinance it into your name through a bank or whatnot, or pay it off. And I couldn't do that because of my unconventional way of making money. The Fannie Mae and Freddie Macs of the world, the conventional way of getting mortgages didn't on paper, I didn't look like I could finance go.
Yeah.
So I lost those first 2. I did.
So,
Yeah.
The
But I
people
learned.
involved in the gig economy, there are other tools that we can look at.
Yes.
There do exist now, but they didn't exist back then.
No, they didn't. And also, I'll be honest too, excuse me. I could have just listed it, even if I listed it at 1,000 more than I owed prior to the balloon happening.
Mhm.
Once I realized, and that I was so young back then. I think I was like 24. That was like one of my first two. So I lost those, and I made a crap ton of money during the time. So it cash flowed. I was doing great. And when I gave those back to the ladies, um, all the taxes were paid. Everything was paid up on front. All the tenants were on time, and I literally handed it to them because I signed that balloon on the end of that mortgage. So I could have been kind of a creeper and just kept it and made them foreclose on me and all that kind of stuff, or tried to sell it, which I wish I would have done prior to. But it's a learning curve. So yes, I jumped off a lot of cliffs, and some of them I broke a few ankles, but I'm not dead.
Yeah.
You know,
You always came back. You were
Yeah.
smarter, and
Yep.
and
and I don't do balloons anymore. Just saying.
So, very, very smart. So, Steve has a question. Are any of your other family members investing in real estate? Not with you, but have you inspired other people in your family to invest in real estate?
Oh, Dylan, my son, he's got two, no, let's see, a threeplex and a duplex and his own personal home, obviously. So yeah, he did that, and he bought his first one at 17. I actually had to sign on his documents because he wasn't old enough to sign his first rental. Yeah, or first house, but
17, first time home buyer, and that he lived there. Did he was he purchasing that to live? And now he's at 6 stores total.
five,
His home.
Yeah.
Oh,
5 plus his
Five.
Well, yeah,
personal
yeah.
home, but yeah, he
And then-
sold the first one
Mhm.
and then paid cash for his second duplex.
Yeah.
Cash.
Yeah.
And lived in one, fixed the whole thing up, and yeah.
He just kind of, and then our dad, he got into it too.
Yep.
How many does he has?
He does single family.
Yeah.
He's got the one threeplex
One.
with our cousin.
Yep. Oh yeah, our cousin got one. Got in there a little bit too with
Yeah.
with our dad.
1, 2. Yeah, and Dad has three single families, and then the threeplex with
that he shares
our
with
cousin.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's so
yeah.
each family member has their own like specialty, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
Dad likes the single family because they're easy to either flip or fix, or
Yeah.
and they mow their own lawn, they do their own stuff, do their own utilities.
Yeah.
Where with the duplexes and multifamily, you're more controlling
Yeah.
about the situation, where Dad's like,
You're more involved.
yeah, he's like, you do it.
So you've inspired family members. Some of those family members are investing together. You have a rule, Holly Jo, that you do not get into business with family members. So you got into business with your sister, and then you got out quick.
Great.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I feel like flippers are different than
Yeah.
long term.
Yeah.
There's just so many working parts,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
There's so many options, and I love what you said about everyone kind of has their own thing that they like, their forte, that what they know. And I also think it's just great advice that you said stay in one area so you know the rule, you know the rules of the game, and you know the players, and you can't win if you don't know either one of those people. Either one of those things. All right, so
I would also say, just real quick, it's not just family. Like I would say with anybody,
Yeah.
don't get in a partnership with a friend, a random human that sounds really good.
Yeah.
Like, just partnerships they're a lot, and if
They're
you
tricky.
are going to, you better make sure your paperwork is straight.
Yeah.
Make sure you got all the ins and out of an LLC, who's responsible for what. Like that kills people quicker than anything if you guys can't agree. I don't recommend partnerships at all,
No.
let alone with family.
And be willing to walk away with zero, because at the end of the day, money is really great, but it's not the most important thing. And if it's your sanity and your mental health or money, be willing to just walk away if you do a partnership, because they can get you. Yeah. So
Good contracts make for good relationships.
Yes. Yes.
yeah.
That's true.
And that is another team member that you need.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it's, yeah. You need
So Heather Beasley has a question. Did you get those first loans based on the NOI of the property?
NOI.
Yeah. Net operating income.
No.
So you, no, was it?
Man, no. That's more of a bank thing. No, everything I got in the beginning was wheeling and dealing, talking them into it. Nope. I just said, you want me to take this off your hands? I promise to pay you. But I also made sure when I made the deal that the dollar amount made sense
For everybody.
if I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna make a profit, then I'm not even gonna make the offer. But no, those were all just seller deals in the beginning.
And Steve is putting up the website. If anybody on here is watching and is inspired, go to clubrevenue.com and you can join Club Revenue. You'll get the monthly emails. You'll get invited to our mastermind. So we aren't done yet, ladies, but just while people are watching, we always, once a month, do an hour of content. We will bring on people from the investing world. We'll bring on investors, different people sharing different resources, different tools, different stories. And then at 7:00, we have our club, and that's public. That's obviously live everywhere, unscripted, unfiltered, unedited. And then at 7 p.m. until 7:30, the ladies get together in a mastermind. You do have to RSVP for that. You can do that at clubrevenue.com. And we hold each other accountable to knowing how to calculate our net worth and tracking it consistently over time. And the whole idea is that we are growing this community and this network of other investors, female investors, that can help each other grow. And I can tell you that it's all about the accountability, because investing is never urgent, but it is important. So it gets pushed to the back burner a lot. It's easy to get pushed to the back burner because you have your day job, you have your family, you have other responsibilities that will keep you back from finding, going to work and finding those deals. Because it's not easy to find those deals. You really have to make it top of mind, right?
Yeah.
And be consistent looking at it. So, and there's another comment here. You ladies totally rock, and you're also inspirational. So thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. So this is something that we really need to cover right now, because a lot of the things that you made decisions on, when you made your decisions on, the numbers aren't quite working out these days. So we're going to talk about your current portfolio and your current strategy. So first of all, recap what your portfolios look like today. That's one question. So Cheryl, how many doors again?
I have 4, 2 duplexes.
2 duplexes. And Holly Jo?
58 kind of hotels mixed with duplexes.
And I think
I don't want to use the word
studios.
Yeah, they're studios. Like super efficiencies, yeah.
And explain to people what those are for. Who do you serve?
The programs you do.
Okay, so
Because this is really important.
It is not 800 score people, so it's.
And she's
I'm trying to think of how to explain it. Like, so I have homeless prevention. So anybody who's in a homeless shelter, if they get onto some sort of program that will house them for 18 months with the idea that they can get into a job or on Social Security, I house them. Pro-Lease, so I have anybody who gets out of Wexford County, out of prison, if they're on the Pro-Lease program, they come to me, and I usually have them for, depending on their behavior, 6 to 18 months, and then they'll stay with me if they get a job and they want to stay, or they can move on to a different place. Oasis. So I have anybody who goes into the Oasis program that's needing housing, I'll take them. I've got HUD, obviously HUD. So Section 8, I've got a bunch of Section 8s, and they usually come from like the VA homeless. So once they come out, if they're homeless and they're on VA, then they're easier to get onto Section 8. And then I take them from the homeless prevention, get them on HUD, and then they're with me for years. So I've got those guys forever.
You have created such an incredible resource for people that need affordable housing.
Yeah. I'm kind of the go-to person, and for everybody called. I do not advertise. I have not advertised in like a very long time. My phone blows up all the time. Yeah, no advertising.
And on top of that, she has a little room, so she has like efficiency cabins, little one room. They're almost like little vacation rentals that are in like a U shape, and there's like a common areas and laundry and stuff. And so she fills the laundry room with food, and anytime we do a trash out, if there's anything worth keeping, we fill that room with plates and blankets and silverware and Tupperware and clothes. Shampoo, conditioners. Yep. So she fills their bellies and their homes, as well as giving them a home.
Could it be any cooler? Like,
well, and they do it together.
Yeah, and she kind of teaches them how to be.
Yeah, because they all go to like the pantries and stuff, and then whatever, like say Bob doesn't like tomatoes, but he likes green beans, and Susan likes green beans but not tomatoes. So like they all go to the pantry, and then whatever they don't want, they put in there, and then they just kind of share it. It works. It works pretty good.
What? Incredible. What? Steve says incredible service. Yes, incredible service.
I like it. I like it.
I'm so excited to have you guys on again and really do a deeper dive and give you more time to share, because something new always comes up. I didn't know that part about, that it was a whole different level to what you do.
Yes.
So one thing that I wanted to talk to you about is the market is not the same right now. We're going to get to that. But my first question is, are you both cash ready right now if a deal came up?
I mean, yeah. I mean, for me, I'm not like, I'm taking a step. I'm happy with what I have. I'm concentrating on other things, other investments and things like that. But yes, if Holly came to me and was like,
we got one, let's go. 5,000.
Yeah.
back to square one.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, but I'm not going to do that.
No, I'm kind of to the point where I don't need it either, I guess. But it's in my blood. It's like in your DNA sort of. And if a good deal came up that I knew for a fact I could either flip or make like cash flow reasonable amount, I could do that.
So that's a great lesson too. Just always be cash ready. And right now, because things are pretty good at the moment, and a lot of people are sitting just because of the appreciation in the last couple of years. A lot of people are sitting on a lot of equity in their homes that they may or may not even know they have. It's a great time to get a home equity line of credit. You don't have to use it if you don't need it or want it, but you can be cash ready, and you can have that ready to deploy if the right deal comes up. So I just wanted to plant that seed for people.
Yeah, I would say a home equity line of credit is a good way of being ready. If you don't like have saved cash, don't use it unless you're gonna use it properly. But it's a good way to pounce on something and get a very good deal.
Yeah, because then you don't have to, depending on how much you have, may not have to go through underwriting. You can do something very quickly if if you can. And then as you're building your portfolio, all of that equity builds up and you have the opportunity to, it just compounds, just like anything. Good habits compound. So, but you have to start. You start with $5,000
Yes.
Yeah.
in a mobile home.
And it's not glamorous. Don't think it's
Oh,
not
no.
fun.
No. Again, this
You
is
know,
held up with drywall dust.
Yeah,
So.
like, it is great and it is worth it, but keep your expectation low. Yeah. Hope for the best and prepare for the worst. I don't know, all those things.
I mean, if you're
Hope for the best, prepare for the worst. Those are great words of advice.
run your numbers.
And yes,
You got to run your numbers. If you're not willing to clean toilets and paint, then you need to price in management costs, and they're reasonable. I mean, I charge 15% gross.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, pay attention to the numbers. They don't lie. The numbers don't lie.
and as we were talking before we went live, you need to run all the numbers, not just the immediate numbers, like when that balloon payment hits.
Yes.
Because the balloon payment will hit.
Yes.
Whoopsie.
So Julianne Marie is asking, what advice DP do you have for the very beginner? For the very beginner.
I mean, there's so many.
I know. I would say
ways you can go.
I would say multifamily, because that's your cash flow. Because even if one person doesn't rent or you got to fix one, you're not 100% financing it with your day job. Good neighborhood, crappiest house.
Yeah.
And run the numbers. Don't buy a $300,000 duplex when you're only gonna get $800 per unit. Like, no, don't do that.
And don't rush it. Don't force it. If the numbers are telling you no, there's a reason.
No.
Don't force it. You know, I mean, work hard and push hard. But at the end of the day, if you're leveraging something that you can't afford to lose, don't do it.
Mm-hmm.
Good advice. Stands the test of time. And so again, with the market the way that it is, we were talking about a couple of different scenarios before we went live. When would it make sense if someone was going to buy something and it may not cash flow immediately? Talk about Holly Jo, you had some really profound words on like right now looking at things, but not for right now, as long as you could afford it.
Right.
What, and Cheryl, you talked about the market a little bit, and you both had some good gold nuggets on that.
I feel like there are theories. So I don't like it at all, but I understand it. So if you have way lots of money and you need to kind of park it somewhere for inflation, for tax purposes, that would be a good idea to just go ahead and buy real estate, because you're probably over time, like even if you're losing a couple $100 a month on rents, the market will, and your tax savings. So that would be the only time I would do something like that. If your net tax like income could be offset by the real estate. That would be, and that's again, like that's way accountantville. I don't recommend it. It scares me. I mean, my accountant has told me a couple of days, like, well, you should, if you do this, then you don't have to pay that. And I'm like, yeah, also I can pay that and then not have to pay this mortgage. So
it sounds like you just keep things so simple. And what you're talking about is kind of next level tax strategy.
It really is. Yeah. So if you don't understand it, seriously understand it, do not buy something that's not going to cash flow, because you're going to have increase in the future, blah, blah, blah. Like, no, I don't recommend it.
Those are all what ifs. And you can't.
You might as well just go to
casino.
Red on deck.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So, your money is only insured by the FDIC up to a certain amount in the bank. So if people have more than that, they may need to deploy it in
Yeah,
other
we'll have
places. So
more than
that's
one
another.
bank account. There's a
And for anyone that is willing to own or occupy, it's a great way to house hack. Sometimes the numbers do make sense if
Sure,
you are living there, like in a multifamily situation.
100%.
Living there, you can renovate while you're there, like you did, Holly Jo. You can maybe do the property management yourself because you're right there. So you get your mortgage paid for by the people that are living in your
Yeah,
investment
or
property.
yep, or you only have $400 in rent because they're paying the other 12. I mean, that's totally
And you can homestead it.
yeah. But again, check your zoning. Don't be just buying a house and then thinking it's going to be a duplex because they will get you.
Yeah.
Check your zoning. The city, they're depending on which county, which city, don't.
Which area? Sometimes they don't allow duplexes.
They don't.
They only allow single
You're
family homes.
Big fat trouble. And you're going to get into something, do it, and then be in big trouble. You can homestead if zoning allows it. It's 50%, right? So if you live on one half, you can homestead 50%, and your license has to be there.
Which is a good tax break.
It's a good tax break. It is. So yeah, there's ways to do that for sure.
And I want to reiterate to everybody listening and watching, the only way you learn is by doing. So let's say, Holly Jo had to give back those 2 properties. There was a strategy she could have used to not do that. Hindsight's always 2020. But even if you did not have to foreclose and you didn't have to dip back into your pockets for anything, you had to hand them back. So even if you end up, it costs you $10,000 or costs you nothing, like it just is a wash, like you said, Cheryl. That was your education. You got a free education in real estate investing, and you will never make that mistake again.
Yeah. Well, we just did that. Like whenever we go through something that's a hard time, and we're just like, oh my gosh, and we do this in life too. But we're like, okay, what was the lesson in this? Like, what did we learn? Why are we not gonna have to do this again? So we always kind of, whenever we go through something, we kind of dial each other in.
Like,
we say,
what did we miss?
Say, okay, what's the lesson here? What did we not do? Did we not vet these people? Did we forget to change the filter? Did we?
Right, because the furnace went out.
Yeah, like what is our lesson? What did we go lax on so that we missed it when we shouldn't have? So that's kind of a way that we turn bad or negative situations into and positively, and moving forward, what's the lesson in this?
And how we're not going to do that again.
You're debriefing your deals and learning from your mistakes, failing forward. And one last thing before we put a bow on this episode of Club Revenue is you have multiple income streams with some of your investing, right? So you had property management for a while, right?
Yep.
And then you have some laundry too, right?
I do. That's point. I do. I forgot about
that.
Yeah. So different things like that. And again, that's over time, you probably just learn and get the resources and know the right people that you can layer on that. And you're providing a service for the people that are living there. You're giving them that runway. You're creating a runway for them to, start their lives over.
Yeah.
Such a positive way.
Sometimes she'll go, this is one of my success stories.
Yeah.
These people are coming from some pretty dire situations. And so there aren't a lot They're not a lot. It can be heartbreaking, but she has a lot of really great success stories too. So
it makes it worth it.
it does. Yeah.
Maybe we have to have you and a couple of those success stories on a coffee episode coming up. How fun would that be?
That would be fun.
Oh boy, yeah.
Oh,
Right? Oh boy, yeah.
Oh, man.
okay, last, I think this is a really cool piece to end with. You both know your financially free date, correct? Well, Holly Jo, I know you know yours.
Yeah. I'm like,
And do you want to tell people? So, Club Revenue, we're all about understanding how to track your net worth and grow it over time. And Holly Jo has done that. Whether you knew you were doing that or not, but you were doing some keeping things really simple.
yes.
And so, when is that date, Holly Jo?
So, I mean, I feel like I'm pretty good to go right now, but I will be completely debt free in, I don't know the exact date. It's like well, remember, it's under 5 years now. So it's like 4 years and 8 months, something, 4 years, 7 months. I'm pretty excited.
I knew that off the top of my head because you told me 5 years.
I'm close. I might, yeah.
So completely debt free. You own 50 doors that
and
are doing are doing good for the community and creating cash flow for you for the rest of your life.
Yeah. I have plans. I do like to continue to just help. Like it is going to be so cool when I can just literally just help. You know what I mean? And get everything like
the way
perfect. I know, because now I'm like
upgrades and
doing the upgrades and because right now I maintain, I fix anything that's broke. I try to do the best I can, but like the second that I feel like I can actually make everything really nice and I can't wait. I'm so excited.
You're gonna make me cry.
Oh, don't do that.
So good. I have goosebumps. Thank you for being brave. And well, you said you were fearless. So you were fearless enough to come on a live to come on a live event. And thank you so much, Cheryl, for introducing me to Holly Jo and for helping us with our first investment. Ask us the question that you asked us. This is, oh my gosh, probably 5 years ago now. Just what question did you ask us?
Oh, are you talking about for the first property?
For the first industrial property.
Yeah, I just I asked if you had asked the owner if he would be willing to do a land contract.
Such a simple question, and we were so focused on bank.
Yeah,
didn't even occur to us back then. And so, thank you. That has been a great investment for us.
Yeah.
So and then Steve went to work and made it happen.
That's awesome.
So everybody is thanking you. Christiana Marie says you ladies are so inspiring. Thank you for sharing. And Julianne Marie says thank you so much. And if you are a woman and you are looking to women that are interested in investing, real estate investing, knowing your net worth, tracking your net worth, all of that, join us at the Club Revenue Mastermind. Immediately following this, go to clubrevenue.com to register real quick. That is private. It's not published anywhere and it's not recorded. It is a safe space to ask all the questions that you want. So ladies, thank you for sharing your wit and your wisdom with us. We will see you later after the mastermind. All right. Good night, everybody. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Good night.